Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all. So, today we will start the chapters for grade 12. Okay. So, here we are having total 5 units, right? And the first unit is reproduction. And under this unit, we are having 4 chapters. The first chapter is reproduction in organisms. And second chapter, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Third chapter, human reproduction. And fourth one is reproductive health. So what does it mean? It means that in all 4 chapters, the basic thing is reproduction, right? So by this means, this chapter will become more important because it will create a basic for other 3 chapters, right? So here we will discuss about the basic thing about the reproduction in organisms, right? So whenever we are talking about the organisms in biology, we are talking about the living one, right? Whether it is plant, unicellular, animals, all these comes under the living organisms. And what do you understand by reproduction? If I will split this term into 2 parts, that is re and production. Okay, you must have done this definition earlier also, that re means again and again. Okay, if I will split this term, re means again and again, and production means to produce. So again and again, what is the production? It means that again and again there will be formation of new progeny, new individuals from the parent organism. Okay, so here we will understand that how the reproduction will take place, what are the conditions, what are the different types. Okay, so let's start with the topic. So before going through the topic, we will understand some of the important terms. And one of the terms is lifespan. Okay, very important. In any of the living organisms, lifespan is very important. Why it is important? Because it shows that what is that period. Okay, if I will talk about that someone is having birth and then death. Okay, so this is the period between the birth and death. It is the lifespan. But there is one additional thing, that should be natural one. Okay, sometimes what happens that the death is due to the accident, due to any disease, so we are not counting it as a lifespan. Okay, why? Because here we are calculating the average lifespan. For example, the lifespan of an human being, it is what? It is around 60 to 65. We are calculating 60 years. So we are talking about in all the organisms, in all the human beings. Okay, so here I am calculating with the help of all the means to general what we are getting here. Okay, so we can say that that period which is starting from where? From birth to the natural death. So what will be the definition? Period from birth to the natural death, it is known as lifespan. Okay, and this lifespan, and during this lifespan, this reproduction will occur. So what is that particular phase? Okay, as someone is going to birth, or someone is taking birth, what happens that it doesn't mean that directly it will undergo for the reproduction. Okay, in different organism, these phases are different one. Okay, so we can say that no individual is immortal. Second point is what? No individual is immortal except single. What do you understand by this term? It means that no one is going to live forever. Okay, why? Because at some point, or at some time, they have to die also. This is the rule, or this is the thing which is happening. But some exceptions are there. Examples are what? Examples are single-celled organisms, okay, or the single-celled species. What do you understand by single-celled species? That those are lower in the division. Okay, we have done different kingdom classification, right? In 11th we have done 5 kingdoms classification, and in 5 kingdom classification, the lowest one is the monarans. Okay, the lowest one is the monarans. We have done this thing. Then above to the monera, there is protista, right? And above to it, fungi. Like this we have done. Then plantae, then Animalia, and we human beings comes under kingdom Animalia, right? So as we are moving from lower to higher kingdom, the body or organization will become more complex, and in case of Monera, the body organization is very simple. Okay, and what are the example of Monera? Examples of Monerans are the bacterias. Okay, and here we can say that we have done different bases of classification. Okay, how we are classifying these organisms on the basis of cellular organization, right? What type of cell it is? We know that in Monerans we are having prokaryotic cells, right? Along with the prokaryotic cells, it is unicellular or multicellular. Here we are talking about the unicellular. So like this, if we are moving towards the protista, okay, in protista, what should be the body organization or the cell organization? We can say it is eukaryotic, but it is eukaryotic. From Monera to protista, it will become eukaryotic, but still the cell is unicellular. So if I will see the structure, whether in case of bacteria or in case of protista, and what are the examples of protista? Like amoeba, paramecium, all these are the examples of protista. So in these things you can see that what type of reproduction or what type of cell division. It's a simple one. Okay, so these single celled organisms, they are immortal. It means that they will not die. Why we are saying like this? Because for example, these are the bacterias, okay, or for example any single celled organisms. What will happen during the reproduction, okay, or during the growth? It will divide into two part, right? It will divide into two part, but the main parent, it is not there, and it is not going to die anywhere. Okay, so simply what is happening, the single parent is going to divide into two individual, and the identity will retain here, and no loss of identity. Okay, so that's why we are saying that no individual is immortal. No one is there that they can live forever. Okay, at some time they have to die, but exception are the single cell organism, because they are not going to die anymore, and they are increasing themselves, they are increasing their population, okay, without them. Now comes to the another point, that is no correlation. It means that we cannot correlate the lifespan of any two organisms on the basis of their size. Okay, on the basis of their size. For example, if I say this organism is very large, okay, so it will live for a long period of time, and this one is very small, so it will live for a short span of time. We cannot compare these two on the basis of their sizes. Okay, or we cannot compare that these two are of same type, this one is one type and this one is one type, so they can live for a same span of time. Okay, so this is the wrong thing we have if we will assume it. Okay, so we can say that there is no correlation in the organisms. Examples, there it is given in your NCERT also. If you open the NCERT, you will see that so many example of different organisms they have mentioned. Okay, and one of the example, if I will show you, that one is what, one is your the parrot and another one is the crow, right? If I will, both are having almost the different size, parrot and crow, but the lifespan is not the same. Okay, that one of the lifespan is 140 years and another lifespan is only for the 15 years. So how can you say? Okay, how can you say like this? Same thing in case of mango tree and people tree. Okay, what is happening here? Both are having somehow same sizes, but the lifespan of mango is less as compared to the people tree. So we are not having any clear cut thing that why it is happening so. Okay, so there is no correlation among the organisms. And that's another one, the last one includes the 4 stages. If I will talk about the lifespan, what is happening here, we have categorized into 4 stages. In some books you will see only 2 to 3 stages, right? 3, but here I have added one more, that is the 4th stage. So on this basis we are having 4 stages, and the first stage is juvenility. Okay, we are also saying juvenile, right? So what do you understand by juvenile? It means that something is very new. as any organisms takes birth, okay, that time it is juvenile, right? But for entering into the reproductive phase, what it is, for entering into the reproductive phase, what is the requirement? This juvenility must be completed, okay, and this juvenility shows that it is creating, it is what we can say, it is trying to achieve that maturity period, and it is trying to add more and more activity, okay, so that it can reach up to the maturity age, and at this stage there will be a reproduction. So what is exactly happening in the juvenile stage, that the body of an organism is going to prepare itself to undergo the maturity phase or to the reproductive phase, okay. So this is the preparatory phase. So this phase is very very important. In we are having two terms when we are talking about the juvenility. So we can say about the animals, okay, like phase we are having in case of plant, that one is vegetative. It means that this one is also known as vegetative phase. What do you understand by vegetative phase? It means that the other body part, or if I will talk about the plants, the other part of the plant is going to grow. For example, there will be growth of root, stems, leaves, okay. So these are the vegetative part of the plant. And what is the reproductive part of the plant? The reproductive part of the plant is flower, okay. So the flowers are the reproductive part of the plant. So in this phase you will see that there will be only juvenile phase. It means that only formation of vegetative growth, okay, both in case of plant as well as in animals. Now comes to the another phase, that is maturity phase. This is the phase in which exactly the reproduction will take place. Why is it so? Because now the body of the organism is fully matured. What it is? Maturity phase. The body structure is fully matured and it is capable to undergo the reproduction, okay. So we can say that after the juvenility phase there will be the maturity phase, okay. Now comes to the aging and senescence. As the reproduction will complete, and after some time, okay, after some time what happens, the organism will undergo the which stage? Aging stage. Now no reproduction will take place. The body is not going to do any reproduction. The metabolic activity will get lower down, and due to this lowering of metabolic activity there will be aging in the body. And if I will clear cut, in case of plants there is a senescence phase, okay. Senescence means that now plant is going to dry, wilt off, okay, by any means. So we can say that aging and senescence aging and senescence is that phase in which there will be very less metabolic activity and no reproduction will take place. Now comes to the death, okay. Now when there will be no metabolic activity, so that organism will not able to live and ultimately it will get die off, whether it is plant or it is animals. So we are having all these four stages here, right. So we can say that we have completed that much points about the lifespan. So during the whole lifespan of any individual of any organism, they have to enter into four different phases. So you must have memorized these phases in this sequence only, okay. And next, coming to the reproduction, this is the main thing what we are going to study here in next three chapters also. That what do you understand by the reproduction? That again and again production of new offspring, okay. What is happening here? Production of new offspring or production of new individuals that are physically independent, okay. It means that now the organism or the offspring which are forming from the parent one, they are independent to their parents and they can survive their life also, okay. So this phase or this process is very important so that we can continue our population, okay. So here we can say that reproduction is very very important, and one by one we will understand that how many types it is, what is the use here. So here I have mentioned few purposes of the reproduction, that what are the different purpose of the reproduction, why it is important. Okay, as we have done earlier also, that it's not a vital one. Okay, we are not considering reproduction as the characteristics of any life. Why? Because it's not vital for the body activity. Without the reproduction, the individual can survive, but it is again fundamental thing. It is a fundamental process or the biological process for the continuation. Okay, so the first one, that is the continuity of the species. If we have to continue our population, there must be a reproduction. If it will not be there, what will happen? That there will be no population growth. Okay, ultimately the whole ecosystem will get disturbed. So we should know that the reproduction is enabling the continuity of species, right? Then comes to the next point, maintains life on the earth. Simple. If there will be continuity, so the life will get maintained. Okay, ecosystem will get maintained. If life will not be there, what will happen? No one will be there. Okay, because everyone is dependent on the other organisms, right? Comes to the next one, it is creating variation among population. If I will talk about the reproduction, what is happening? We are getting more and more variation. Okay, it means that the individuals, the forming individuals, they are different from the parent one. Okay, so what we are getting some changes from their parent. So this variation is very, very important. Why? Because if variation will be more, what will happen? That there will be more chances of we can say there will be more chances of the improvement, right? I'm giving you example, that if all the persons or all the children in one class will be intelligent, what will happen? There is no scope of improvement. Improvement can be done where, when there will be some students, they are good in maths, some good the students, they are good in physics, some chemistry. So we can assume, we can say that we have to improve that children or that particular children in that subject. So chances of improvement will be more where the variation will be more. Okay, and this variation is coming from where? From the reproduction itself. Okay, so this is about the purposes of reproduction. Then comes to the types of reproduction, and here on the basis of their activity, environment, or the internal body structure, we have classified the reproduction into two types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Okay, so here we will understand that what are the different types of asexual or sexual reproduction. But again, I will just going to make you understand about few points. In your NCERT, it is given that annual and perennial. Okay, what do you understand about this annual and perennial plants? Because whenever we are talking about the reproduction, we are having the plants here. So plants can be of two type. Annual means that those one, they are completing their lifespan or completing their life cycle in only one season or 1 year, and perennial are those one which is completing in the long years. It means that we cannot correlate this thing here with the annual one. It means that they can complete and they can grow again and again. It means that they are flowering, they will undergo the reproductive phase again and again. So on the basis of these three, phase, we have divided into two, that is annual. In case of annual, okay, why? Because the lifespan is short in case of annual plants. So what happens here, these three different phases, they are very distinct, or these are the clear cut. We know that there is a particular vegetative phase in case of plants. Okay, then there will be maturity, or we can say reproductive phase. How we have defined it? That first one is, if I will talk about the annual, vegetative phase. Okay, then comes to the reproductive stage. Why reproductive stage? Because this reproduction takes place in flowers, or we can also say as a flowering stage. And the third one is the senescence phase. Okay, these are the three different phases in case of plant. So all these three phases, they are clear cut in case of annual one, but in case of biennial or the perennial, okay, I can say perennial. In case of perennial, what is happening, that all three phases, they are not clear cut. Why it is so? This plant will undergo the juvenility phase, or if I will talk about the plants, very specifically vegetative phase, the root will develop, the shoot will develop, stem, leaves, everything will develop. But as it will undergo the maturity or the reproductive stage, okay, so in this reproductive stage, so every year it will undergo the flowering stage. So we are not having very clear cut phase for this perennial crops or perennial, we can say, plants. So after that, senescence, or it may get die off, or it may take long time lifespan. So here we can say, on the basis of these three phases, we are having two, annual and perennial. In annual, all three phases are very clear cut, they are distinct. But in case of perennial, they are not distinct, or they are not clear cut phases in the lifespan. Okay, so now here we will understand that what is asexual reproduction, because it is one of the type of reproduction. In asexual means, if I will split this term, A means absence. Okay, it means that there is absence. Absence of what? Sexual one. And what is sexual? Whenever we are talking about two different sexes, male as well as female. So it means that there will be no sexual reproduction. Okay, that one is known as asexual reproduction. There will be no reproductive part, that they will form the gametes. Okay, so we can say that about the asexual reproduction, as there are no involvement of parent, so only single parent, they are capable to produce the offspring. Okay, what it is? Single parent capable of producing offspring. So it means that there is no need of two parents, only one parent is sufficient to give rise to two daughter individuals. Okay, so here we can say that, and these two, they are exactly same. They are exactly same, just like their parent. There are no changes, not in the morphological aspect. Morphological means outer appearance, not in the genetical aspect as well. Okay, its genetic will also be same. You have to memorize that in case of asexual reproduction, the progeny which is going to develop, they are exactly same with their parent as well as among themselves also. Okay, if there will be formation of two individuals, so both these two individuals, they are similar to each other. Okay, as well as it is similar to the parent also, right? So here we can say that single parent is involving, and the individuals, they are developing, they are genetically and as well as morphologically, they are identical to their parents as well as among themselves also, and these are known as clones. What are the clones? If I will ask the definition of clone, clone is what? It is the morphologically and genetically similar individuals. Right here, then mostly we can see this type of reproduction in the single celled organisms. Okay, as I have discussed right now, that as we are moving from lower to higher kingdom, what we are observing, that the complexion is very simple in case of lower one, and the monerans and protists, they are the lower kingdom. Okay, or the lowest one is monera. So as we are moving towards the animal kingdom, what we are observing, there will be no asexual reproduction, right? There will be sexual reproduction. So what are the examples for that? Bacteria and amoeba, paramecium, all they are dividing with the help of the asexual reproduction. Okay, now again, if I will classify this asexual reproduction, that it can be of different types. It can be of different types. What are they? Here I have mentioned some different types of asexual reproduction, that which we are going to discuss in the coming lectures also. And we have started with the fission. Okay, fission, budding, sporulation, fragmentation, regeneration, and vegetative propagation. All these are different types of asexual reproduction. And the first one is fission. Fission means what? If I will speak about the basic thing about the fission, it means that cleft. Cleft means someone is splitting, right? So fission is what? It is the cleft or somehow division. So this fission can be what? In this fission, we can say that the parent body will going to divide itself. Okay, we're going to divide itself, and each part is going to form a new individual, right? So on the basis of that, fission can be further divided into the binary fission as well as multiple fission. Okay, so the cleft or the splitting can be binary. Binary means bi means two. When the body or the organism will divide into two parts, it is known as binary fission. When the body will divide into many, multiple means many, it is known as multiple fission, right? So we are having two types of fission. What are they? Binary fission and the multiple fission. So binary fission is what? When the body will get divided into two parts, okay, and that part can be same or somehow different, right? So again on the basis of division, on the basis of that one, we have divided this binary fission into four types. The first one is simple binary fission. Simple means that directly body is going to divide itself into two parts in from any plane. Okay, example is amoeba. For example, this is amoeba. Okay, this is amoeba. So when the body going to undergo the fission, okay, or this simple binary fission, what is happening? That it can divide from any part or from any plane. It can from here also, it can from here also or here also. But wherever it will divide or it will get fission, it will act upon the nucleus. Okay, it will act upon the nucleus. The elongated part of on the elongated part of nucleus, if there will be division at the right angle, always and always in simple binary fission, the division will be at right angle of the elongated nucleus. Okay, so we can say that simple binary fission is what? When the body or of a parent will get divided into two halves, okay, from any plane, it is simple binary fission. Okay, now comes to the longitudinal binary fission. Longitudinal binary fission means that whenever the division or the we can say parent body will get divided into two parts, on which basis? On the longitudinal. For example, this is what? This is euglena. Okay, so when there will be division in the longitudinal axis, it comes under this type of binary fission. Example is euglena. Okay, then next to the oblique binary fission. Oblique means that example is Gorlux. We have done in 11th grade also. What is Gorlux? So in this Gorlux, what is happening? At the right, for example, this plane is what? This plane is transverse plane and this one is the longitudinal, right? So whenever there will be the fission at the 90 degree of this transverse plane, okay, it is known as oblique binary fission and it takes place in case of Gorlux. Then comes to the transverse binary fission. What do you understand by transverse? When the parent body will get divided into the transverse place into two different parts. Example is paramecium. Paramecium is what? We have done amoeba, then euglena and then paramecium. In case of paramecium, if I will draw the structure like this, okay, so this is somehow this type of structure. So how the division will take place? With the help of this transverse plane. So this is all about the binary fission, in which what is happening here? The body is going to divide into two equal halves. Then comes to the multiple fission. Name itself indicates that body is going to divide multiple times. Okay, body is going to divide multiple times, and in this one, what happens? It again takes place in single cell. If I will take the example of amoeba, during that time what happens? It will withdraw its pseudopodia, and when it will withdraw its pseudopodia, it will transform into this cyst-like structure, and during this time it will form different layers surrounding it. Okay, and this is acting as a protection during the unfavorable condition. So during the unfavorable condition, it will withdraw its pseudopodia and it will form the layered structure, and this layered structure, it is known as what? It is known as cyst, and in this cyst, what is happening? There will be formation of spores. And in case of amoeba, these spores are known as pseudopodiospores. Okay, pseudopodiospores. When the condition will get favorable, this will get rupture and it will form so many amoeba, right? Likewise, another example of multiple fission is Plasmodium. Okay, it is also it is present in case of Plasmodium, which is the we can say in malaria parasite, right? So in this malaria parasite, what is happening? Same, the ball, when condition will be unfavorable, it will form a ball-like structure. Inside the ball, there will be formation of spores, and when condition will get favorable, these spores will get ruptured and they will form so many Plasmodium. Okay, so rate you can see here, it is so much fast, right? So we have done binary fission as well as the multiple fission and their examples too, which is very very important from the examination point of view. Now comes to the second one, that is the budding. Okay, budding is what? Whenever there will be formation or there will be outgrowth of birds in the parent one, and after some times when it will get mature, it will detach from the main parent body, and this detached part will be able to form a new individual. It is known as budding. For example, if it is a yeast cell, okay, if it is a yeast cell, so here there will be formation of bud at the base of the parent individual. Then after some times when it will get matured, it will form two daughter or two more yeast cell. Okay, same it happens in case of hydra also. There will be formation of bud, and when it will get detached, it will form a new hydra. So these are the types of asexual reproduction, and we have completed only two. In the next class we will study some more different types of asexual reproduction. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.